Hey guys. This has been an eventful and, you know, I guess day so far, and it's only 10 in the morning. Eventful emotionally, should I say. Apparently, I have messed up. I thought on my schedule, I thought I had a psychiatrist appointment at 10 o'clock. I don't know why I wrote 10, and I logged in, and it kept saying, we can't find an appointment for this patient, can't find an appointment for this patient. And I'm like, what is going on? So I log into the actual app, and it shows me my appointment. My appointment's not for a whole another hour. So, instead, and now I sent my husband out of the house. He's gone shopping with his mom and so forth like that. So I had the whole house to myself so I could just do whatever. So I'm just like, okay, here I was prepared for the greatest. And apparently, yeah. So here I am. I just thought I'd make a couple of videos. I'm not sure, like, what's going on with me in scheduling. It's crazy. I don't know. I wrote it. I have got like 4 or 5 calendars, physical calendars. I got at least 3 in this room alone, and then never mind my phone. And I am like, and I sign up for the text and everything. And apparently, I get it wrong. Anybody else do that? I don't know why. I somehow get it wrong, and yeah. So it happens. I guess it's better to be an hour early than an hour late. I mean, at least I didn't miss my appointment and pay that $100 no show fee. So anyway, so while I have the chance, I guess I'm gonna probably use this specific video to talk about you guys about what's kind of going on. If you've been following my vlogs, I do label my vlogs on here. If you've been following them, you'll know that I've been talking about my anxieties. I've been talking about how things are going, emotionally, mentally, physically, things like that, and how I've been feeling. Um, so, um, yeah, I have been this morning alone. I just had to pop a diazepam because I'm just like, yeah, I've been on kind of little. I don't know why, but for some reason this morning I was a little on the edge a little bit. I don't know. It's weird. Maybe because I ate a breakfast a little later than usual, and I was already up for like 2 or 3 hours before I actually ate something. Maybe it's because I'm drinking some caffeine, and maybe that's what it is. I mean, I actually honestly I really enjoy. I'm drinking. Look at these cups. Aren't these cups cute? I saw these on Amazon. There was like they had different ones. This one is a snowman one, and then they had actually it looks like more like a snow girly, but because those lashes are given, right? Um, but also a um that I think it had like one was a Christmas tree, and there's one like a Rudolph or like antlers, and I think it had something else on there too as well. But yeah, I found those on Amazon, and they're like 16-ounce cups. I'm pretty sure they have different other ounces, but and you get like 50 pack for like $20, and I was like, oh, these are so cute. I know if you're a whole environmentalist thing, I know you're thinking, oh, great, more plastic. But these are recyclable, so don't hate on me for using plastic. Okay. Um, so I'm drinking the Starbucks peppermint mocha. It's the iced. I bought it like probably like a month ago, and I just hadn't opened it, but it's still good. It's supposed to be good until like next year, like 2026 or something like that. It was weird, but I was like, well, I guess I can try it. So, but now that I've opened it, I got like a week to drink it. So or until it supposedly goes bad. I don't know. So I'm drinking it now. This is like my second cup. So you only get maybe about 4 to 5 cups out of a container, and that's pretty much all you get out of it. So um, it's kind of worth it. I mean, if you ask me, it kind of is. It is a, um, it's approximately, I think it's like $5 or $6. So it's like $1 a cup, which is a lot cheaper than actually going to Starbucks yourselves and ordering an peppermint ice mocha and a grande size, because this would be a grande size. So To me, it's cost effective, but you're making it yourself. Does it taste the same? Probably not. I think Starbucks, the actual stores, tweak it a little bit. But hey, whatever floats your boat, cost effectively, whatever. So I don't know. I guess maybe I've been drinking that, and I don't know if that just kind of fed into me actually having the whole like being on edge this morning. I don't know. I have not been. I don't know why I'm yawning, but it could be the diazepam. But yeah, I guess I should also do a disclaimer because I have been warned, not really warned from YouTube, but other people on like other sites like Reddit and things like that are talking about, like, posted when they do vlogs on YouTube and stuff, and they talk about their medical stuff and they list medications and what works and stuff. They have to at least verbally put out a disclaimer and talk about how this is not medical advice, and so do not take it. I'm not a doctor, and just because what works for me may not work for you, so don't just take it with a grain of salt. My advice: always check out your doctor. Definitely seek help. Definitely ask questions. See what works for you, because what works for you may not work for me. What works for me may not work for you. So there's my disclaimer. Um, but anyways, so I have been off and on taking. If you've been following this, I've been taking different types of anxiety medications. My psychiatrist, who I got through psychiatry, I prefer an online position, only for the simple fact is because one is convenience. Two, um, after I got COVID back in 2021, I developed high anxiety. I don't know where it came from. I was never anxious. I was always one on the go, out of the house, wanting to plan trips. I loved traveling. I was always out there and I was always busy with something. Didn't even, I don't even think I even started my YouTube channel. I think I did, but didn't. It was around the same time period. But then I got COVID. And when I got COVID, suddenly my whole world went upside down. Of course, who's wouldn't, But for a while, once I got over from being sick, I honestly thought that my I thought maybe because I've been told I got long COVID, I got the long haul, and it really wasn't a physical thing. Yes, I had a lot of like feel always lightheaded. I'm always feeling like I'm gonna pass out. I got really dizzy a lot. I really felt a lot of brain fog, but I also had a lot of um, fatigues on top of my other ailments, which I do have fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome. I have all that, but I also develop POTS as well. And so I'm dealing with that now, which I didn't know I had. I didn't know it was called POTS until like just the past couple months. So I've been dealing with this since 2021. I've been trying to find answers. I've been trying to find some kind of managing something on how to manage all my symptoms. Now, apparently, I have gotten to the point where my body is, I feel like it's slowly trying to get better. I mean, we're growing on almost 5 years since I had COVID. Now, since I had COVID the first time, I did have COVID, I think, one or two other times. And those other times, I think, were variants, so it really wasn't as bad. And plus, I had the Paxlovid, so I took that. And that kind of helped a little bit. But it did not make my issues better. Now, me personally, I'm overthinking that if you had COVID the first time, you had issues. Maybe if you get COVID again, it will reset itself. Like you just go back like a light switch. Like you flip the light switch on this one. So if I have it again, I'll switch it back off and I'll be good. That's not how it works. That's not how viruses work, apparently. You would love to think that, but no, it doesn't work that way. Especially because viruses are always changing and the variants are always, they always somehow, with their environments, with our body, it's hard to control. This is why it's hard. You can't really find cures for viruses. You try to find antidotes, but that's only after the fact. you can't really prevent it, you know. Um, and each person's different. This is why some people who got COVID did pass away and some didn't. And this is why some had a harder time with it and some had COVID but didn't feel like they were sick. So I wish I was that person because I would have been like, I would still continue to be living my life. But I had it pretty bad. I wasn't in the hospital like on a breathing machine, thank goodness, but I did end up going to the ER. I did end up, you know, I ended up doing breathing treatments and I found out I did have double pneumonia with it and I could not breathe half the time. And I had I did have asthma, which is a pre-existing situation. So when I got COVID, obviously, and it attacked COVID primarily attacks the lungs and the breathing. So yes, it really got to me. But the weird thing is about it is I kept passing out. And it was either lack of oxygen maybe, or it was the virus was attacking my brain or something. I think the virus did a number on my brain. I have gone to the neurologist. The neurologist is great. I love my neurologist. He is good. He has tried everything he can possibly to find something wrong. We tried chemical. It's fine. I did two EEGs, which is the brain, nerves and the electrical conduction, all that stuff. We have tried, I did MRIs. We have looked into all that. We had tried all that. From that point of view, there's nothing there. There's nothing. So I can't fault him for not finding anything because he didn't find anything. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe there's something chemically going on in my body. Maybe it's something, and I thought I've been having a lot more cardiological issues. So I did my own research and then I also developed on top of this, I also developed anxieties. I'm like, am I having panic attacks? Instead of hyperventilating, I kept going to the cardiologist and talk to my doctors and I'm like, why am I like always like feel like I'm hyperventilating? Or why do I feel like I'm gonna pass out when I'm out and about? Why am I light sensitive? What is going on? Some of that could be because I am possibly developing anxiety. So I didn't have anxiety or panic attacks before I got COVID. That wasn't even in my vocabulary. But apparently, after I got COVID, now suddenly I have them. So I have been dealing with that. And I'm still trying to find a ways of managing it. And then on top of that, I have been dealing with a lot more heart palpitations. It is hyperventilating, my heart pounding, and like my dysautonomia has been really dysregulated. I am not, it's not where it should be. As I did more research and and then I came across POTS and I was like, what is POTS? And I looked into it and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, maybe I need to get tested for this, So I ended up, and I did even more deep research that a lot of people have actually mentioned that they developed POTS after they got COVID. They did not have this until they got COVID and then they developed it. And I'm like, I wonder if that was me. Maybe I'm one of those people too. So I went to the cardiologist, did all the testing. Almost all my testing, stress tests and all that stuff apparently was normal. I did have the palpitations, but they're benign. They're not bad enough to do an ablations, which are basically they just go in through either the groin, typically it's through the groin area because that's where your main junction of the main artery, and they trace basically electrical wire goes all the way up and it basically kind of cuts off, cauterizes some parts of the heart, and not of the actual heart but like the vessels and stuff to keep it from skipping beats, or it messes with the electrical system of the heart to kind of help keep it back on rhythm, and so it doesn't beat too much or too hard or too much. So it doesn't do anything majorly bad. It just but there is complications with it. but so you have to weigh the risk with it. I don't feel comfortable enough to get the ablations done because I think because my palpitations are so benign that I don't feel like there's something anatomically going on with my heart that's causing these. I think it's a chemical thing, and I feel like there's ways I can control that. I try to limit my caffeine intake, but I know I mentioned this, but I mean, I may have 1 cup of coffee a day, if that. I don't have any, and yeah, my all my other drinks are no caffeine. I limit it so much. I used to be a person that I would drink 3 or 4 cups of coffee a day. I used to be like how my kid is now, who's in college, who's drinking 4 or 5 shots in a venti coffee, at least twice a day almost. She's able to do that. I probably was when I was like 18, 19 years old, but I can't do that. So I did before I got COVID. I was fine with that. And I would live, my life was like that. I was fine. I didn't have any side effects from it. And I don't know what happened. Apparently, I can't handle. So I try to limit that down, thinking maybe, and also caffeine intake could cause anxieties. So I try to limit that. Um, I tried. I am trying everything I can from my point of view. Now, I'm almost to the point now where the cardiologists are pretty much telling me that the best way to probably control some of the pot situation is obviously to increase your salt, because when you increase your salt, it helps the blood volume and the blood circulating better or something. Compression socks, laying down positionally, things like that usually help. But unfortunately for me, doing those things may or may not help me entirely, because in the side effect of doing those things, it also caused me to gain some more extra weight. Um, Am I a plus size? Yes, I've been plus size. I've been plus size almost my whole entire life. I've even had a gastric bypass back in '08. I did lose a lot of weight. Half of the time it was unhealthy wise because I really went from one extreme to the other. But then I developed anemia, and I got panicky over that, and I started thinking I need to start eating. I need to start doing better. And next thing you know it, eating, eat, I just started eating, and next thing you know, I'm starting eating, and I end up not working out anymore because I was going through a lot of um, family stress, and I was dealing with that, and we were moving a lot, and financial stress was happening, and so I canceled gym memberships to save money, but I wasn't compensating it with something else. And I just, next thing you know it, I just started gaining weight. And now I'm pretty much almost back to where I started at, which just sucks because it's been uh like what, probably 15, 16 years now since I've had it. I'm not good at math at the top of my head this quickly, but yes. I mean, I'm shy of almost 20 years, so I'm not proud, but I'm not focused on that right now. I'm focused on just trying to live day by day without feeling I'm going to pass out or panicky or feeling lightheaded or having headaches. I'm trying to I want to manage that before I work on, okay, restricting my diet, or let's work out. Let's get that part handled. Now, some people say, well, how about you try to focus on your eating and your exercise? Maybe it'll fix these other things. I got to take that with a grain of salt. That's a 50-50, 20-20 catch 22 here, because it's hard to work out when you're feeling lightheaded or like you're going to pass out. And it's also hard to restrict your diet, restrict some of your eating, or figure out different ways to eat when, one, I'm missing half of my teeth, and two, I'm working on that financially. Hopefully, I'm working on trying to figure out financially how to afford to get my bottom ones done, and then I'll be able to actually have a full set of dentures, so I can actually have a quality of life to eating and chewing and so forth. I am not ashamed of that. I mean, life happens. I mean, my medicines over time, my genetics and everything over time took over, and that is why I end up developing bad teeth. It's not that I didn't brush my teeth. I didn't go do dental cleanings. I got my dental cleaning every 6 months. I brushed my teeth twice a day. I even flossed. I mouthwash. I did everything, and it's still, my teeth still failed me. It was a slow progress. I went from that to fillings, and then it went from fillings to root canals, crowns, and then extractions, and now here we are. So it's been like that, a battle. Even before I got COVID, I was battling with this. So, but it got really bad over this last year or two. And I posted, and I think it may still be on my YouTube channel. I did post a whole thing called My Dental Journey. I was so proud and so excited because I did get my top dentures, and I still have them. But I had the lower partials, and I was so excited. I thought finally I'm getting somewhere with my mouth. But then a few short months later, my partials on the bottom failed me, and then my top ones, it was hard to keep in without my bottoms. Like, I could not bite and chew right. So I just ended up taking my leaving my tops out, and now I've been dealing with this for almost a year now. I've been toothless for a year now. So I am to the point where I am going to I'm trying to determine to get my bottom ones done going into the new year. Hopefully to work on that. That's one of my main goals for 2026 is to work on getting these bottom teeth done and getting it under control. But while I'm working on that, my main thing is also to get my anxiety under control, to also get my POTS under control, to get my weight under control, get all that under control. Keyword is under control. So, how do I do this, and where do I begin? I'm having to do everything at one time. And it's hard to do everything at one time, but I have no choice because each day that passes, I feel like it's wasting time if I'm not focusing on a little bit each step of the way. So, so here I am, living my life. I think I'm going to I do end up talking to there is a doctor. I have a consultation. It's through telehealth, so I don't know how much we can accomplish that way without him physically, me being in the office, but this is their preference, I guess. Consultation, and it's on Christmas Eve, which I really kind of wish it wasn't on that day, but I mean, because that's one day I really don't want to deal with doctors. I want to enjoy Christmas Eve. But it's at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which I wish it was in the morning, but that's okay. Because that morning I'm going in for my allergy shots, which I just wanted, yeah, I didn't even mention that. I'm also doing allergy shots, by the way. I did do an allergy test, found out that I'm allergic to cat and dog dander, which is kind of ironic considering I grew up with pets all my life. And I guess as I got older, and probably could be caused by COVID as well, I developed some kind of allergen. And we have 3 cats. So, and they are all over the place. In fact, I got 2 right now here in my bed. So, I developed that, and dust is a major thing, and you can only dust so much. And then, and also a little bit of mold, but it's mainly, and I'm so shocked. I don't have an allergen to like pollens, ragweed, or like that, which is kind of weird for me because I grew up, without any allergens at all. And it seems like everyone else in my family either had allergies. My brother was the one with the allergies. But, I mean, everyone in my family seemed to have all these health issues. I didn't have them. And now here I am. Maybe it's karma. I don't know. But I like to not think of it being karma. I just like to think of it as probably just genetics kicking in, as well as COVID really messed up. I want to say it messed up my whole DNA. I think it really kind of whatever was laying dormant in my system DNA wise, I feel like it just unlocked those doors, and now I'm having to deal with all these issues. I'm I'm blaming partially my issues on COVID, because, like I said, before COVID, I was planning family vacations. I mean, I had planned a whole vacation with me, my immediate family, my extended family, and everything like that. We went on a whole week. I planned this whole Disney World vacation. I booked everything. I did the itineraries. I, did the money part. I was basically literally the travel agent. I negotiated. I did everything. And then I mean, on that, and then I was going, and then we went on vacations like during spring break. We would travel like out of state. I mean, I've been to Tennessee twice. We've been to Oklahoma. I've been to New Mexico. I have been to Louisiana several times. Florida a handful of times. We have been through Mississippi. We have been to. We also were planning on. We at one time we were planning on going to visit my cousins. Well, my second cousin supposedly in Arizona, and then we were planning on going to up north to Minneapolis, and then go to visit Mall of America area, and then probably Myrtle Beach. I've had all these plans, these bucket list plans to visit all these places, and figure out money wise and how we can save to do these things. Because we didn't do a whole lot during the year because we spent our money to do these trips, and that was our thing. And then when I got COVID, I stopped planning these things, or I have been afraid to go because what if I have panic attacks? Or what if I do have a medical issue? What if, all the what ifs happen? And I know logically it's like it's going to happen regardless if I go or not. But it's like I feel safer it happening here at home than if I was out of state somewhere and I'm having issues. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that. It's like I mean, I had an issue. One of our last trips to Florida, I ended up, halfway through I maybe it was a panic attack. I don't know. I couldn't sleep that whole night. I felt like I was dying. I couldn't breathe, and I stayed up all night. 5:30 in the morning. I was waking everybody up and said, "Hey, we got to hit the road. We got to, let's go ahead and leave. I want to leave." And then it wasn't until as soon as we got to Florida, I was like, immediately, as soon as we get our keys to the hotel room, we dropped our stuff in the hotel room. We got in the car and we went to the emergency room. Our first thing on vacation was emergency room. Thank goodness I was in and out like in under an hour or two. And the doctor he looked at everything. He's like, you're not having blood clot. My fear was blood clots, but you're not having blood clots. There's nothing going on chest wise. You are probably just muscle fatigues because I'm having aches and pains. You're probably just having that. So they gave me Tramadol, for a few days worth, and told me just go back to your hotel room, take this, get some rest, you'll feel better. By day 2 or 3, I started to feel a little bit better. We just continued on. We went walking around. We went to aquariums, museums. We went to the beach. We started. We drove. We were staying in Tampa, and we drove to Orlando. Then we drove clear across the whole state to go to Cape Canaveral, and we did that. And then we went to Cocoa Beach and Clearwater, and we did a lot of those things. And it was like during that whole week, and then by the end of the week, I was okay. But and we were driving back home. So it could have been muscle, it could have been a fluke. But after I got back, I explained this to my doctor. My doctor got in touch with the rheumatologist. The rheumatologist said, I think, and did some blood work. She goes, I think you have fibromyalgia. I think you were in a position and you started developing this. So it's possible that's what was happening. That's I don't know, but all I do know is she did prescribe me some gabapentin and some baclofen over time, and that has helped me, and I've been on it ever since. It has helped me sleep very well at nights. And I didn't know this until one of the psychiatrists told me that that gabapentin is actually good for it can be used off label for anxiety, and I didn't know that. But this, like I said, this was a few years before COVID, so happened. And then we went on a trip uh, during 2020, and we stayed in our state, but we went down to the beach and we stayed there for like a week. I was perfectly fine. Again, I was perfectly good. We were fine. I took my medicine with me, and that was it. All I took was that at night, and that was the rest. During the daytime, I was okay. And then well, not two, but like more like 5 or 6 months later, going into 2021, I literally, that's when I got sick with COVID, which I thought was weird because I was at home almost 100% of the time with my daughter because she was homeschooling, and my husband, who couldn't really work because of COVID, so it was like still was happening. So we were home and they didn't get sick. The whole time I was sick, they didn't get it, which is weird. And I didn't get sick when we were out, on vacation during 2020. So, and we stayed at two different hotels during that time and still didn't have a problem. And I thought it was kind of weird though. I ended up apparently getting it and I got it real bad. And after that, I just like, it's been an uphill, it's been like a roller coaster with me. Is it slowly better? It's not as bad as it was, but is it slowly getting better? Yes. But it's not, I'm trying to get back to where I was before. Now I'm almost to the point mentally, I'm starting to realize I'll get there whenever I get there. I feel like I'm getting to the point where this is my life, is how I'm accepted. Maybe I'll never be back to where I was, but I could be better than where I'm in now. I'm getting to the point where I feel like I could accept my uh my life is the way it is. Now, with POTS, I know I can do better according to cardiologists, stuff like that. Yes, I'm probably one of those people that have POTS that just increasing the salt is not going to help much. Yes, it does help. I do need increased salt, but I'm also going to need to work out. I need to do light exercises. I need to do between recumbent biking, which is literally going to still keep me in a seated position versus standing. Um, but incorporate a little bit of light treadmill walking, kind of going back and forth, retraining the body to accept the blood flow of going, that this is that, it's retraining your heart to realize, oh, it's okay. I need to do something a little bit more on a consistent scheduling. Um, yes, that will help. I've been increasing my water. That would help too. I do salt waters. That helps as well. But that only helps also if I'm going to work out, because just increasing my salt is only making me basically blown up. And so my body is holding onto that water. So I need to get it out. So in order to do that, I need to work out as well as when I do increase the salt. Um, there is other things I could do medication wise I can take, but it's before increasing another medication in my system, I want to get these other things worked out as well. Now, before I start doing the workouts and stuff like that, I want to try to get in a level where I'm not having panic attacks and I'm not having um, anxieties and uh, feeling the way I feel. I just want to get on a level where I'm okay. I just want to wake up and know that I feel fine. I slept good. And right now, I'm not at that point. But I refuse to give up, and I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying to say, okay, this didn't work. Let's try something else. There's always got to be something else I can try. But the problem is, it gets so frustrating because in the matter of a month, I have tried like 4 or 5 different medications, and it's always my body has something wrong with, always has something bad about that medication that it's not feasible for me to continue to take. So, what do? I don't know. And I guess, and then on emotional level, I feel like I'm at the point where I'm afraid that the doctor's going to pretty much give up on me or say, well, you're just tough. You just got to deal with the best of whatever we've been giving you and just continue on. But there's got to be, but I'm less likely to continue to take it if I don't like the side effects of it. And therefore, it's still not going to help me. And then I'm back at square one. So, yeah. So here I am. But anyways, this video has been really, really long and I didn't mean it to be this long. I just started talking about you guys about how I've been feeling and medical wise, and yeah. So it's almost time. Now I got about another 30 minutes left before my actual appointment is. Which is funny because they just sent me a few minutes ago an actual text message to remind me of that appointment. So, um, yeah, I guess that's it. I want to also talk to you guys about an issue I had with online shopping the other day. So I'm gonna post another video right after this one. So yeah, um, I just I wanted to separate that video from this video because this video is more of a vlog and that video is not. So if you notice that, guys, if you notice some of videos that are talking about me and my health and things like that, and how I'm talking like this is more blog style, and that is a whole separate thing. You notice in the title I'll literally put vlog on there so you guys would know. And I also try to put it in also an actual separate playlist for you, so you don't have to weed out through which ones are vlog and which ones aren't. If you're not interested in my health or whatever it is, which is fine, you don't have to be. I didn't make this channel for just that. I just thought it would help me help anybody out there who's also kind of going through similar issues as me, or has maybe insights, or maybe has some suggestions or whatever. Can comment down below and we can create a little nice community here, and yeah, and kind of talk about things. But with that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and type this video because I want to talk about a different video. I want to talk about a different subject in the next video, and I'm going to post that also. So both videos are going to be posted back to back. Which one posts first, I don't know. It's up to YouTube. Which one's more of a higher priority to process. So, but they'll both be posted. So don't be alarmed if I'm obviously wearing the same thing. It's only because I did them back to back. But yeah, I guess that's what that being said, I will talk to you guys in the next one. Stay healthy, guys. Don't give up if you're battling issues like me. Don't give up. Reach out. There's always many resources online. So yeah, I guess that's it. So I guess I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.